and it applies to everyone, regardless of political orientation, is to focus really on creating an enabling environment where, if you're holding 1 million today, my brother, you should think of Zim as an investment destination. If you want to buy your property, you don't buy in South Africa, you don't buy in the United States, you buy in Zimbabwe, because after every month, you're able to recover something. But you see now, look at the rentals. Now, on the ground, of course, people are charging in Forex, but legally, you can't charge in Forex. And I actually read somewhere where there was a threat to deal with business that are still charging in Forex. Because what you find now is businesses are trying to survive. It's really a fight for survival. So you've got a legal framework. Then you've got a real framework. Because you see, many businesses in the country, they are buying their raw materials outside and they have to buy them in Forex. Then you have to sell that very same product in local currency. And that process of shifting of currencies, to be honest, is not an easy one, because the RBC is not necessarily giving all those people the US dollars they need for their imports. So you find many more businesses are actually going back into the illegal market to gain the Forex. Why? Because I think it's also now a question of survival. So what I really think is for policymakers to really take time, reflect, also engage business in terms of the potential consequences of some of these policies.
But you keep on referring back to the legal framework.
Yeah.
What then can be done to that animal that you are calling
the legal
framework, so that you and me at least can have confidence in? So I wake up tomorrow and say I have 1,000 in my account and it's going to be 1,000. I should sit down and plan that legal framework. What can be done?
You see what, my brother? Laws, they don't make themselves. Laws don't just wake up. Laws are created by the people we put in positions. So you elect an MP, you elect whoever. Their role, if they are a legislative member, their role is to contribute towards the legal discourse. So it goes back to the people who are in positions where they make the laws. What is the conversation that they're having? Are they having conversations in full view of these things? Because laws are put in place by the people that we appoint into those positions of responsibility. So that's one thing we don't have to ignore. So if we make you an MP tomorrow, your role is to ensure that you debate some of these things. Does it make legal sense? What is the effect? So those things. But you see, several laws go through Parliament, and you still say, no, this doesn't make sense, this doesn't make sense. But again, it goes back to the people who are making the laws.
But what kind of a law do you expect from someone who is 21 years old, a Zimbabwean, and a registered voter, to come and then pass a law, that has got, good, effect on you and me?
All right. I think
it actually means the people that we are electing to put in parliament, some of them do not even understand the kind of things that we're talking about.
You see what, one of the challenges we have is, I don't think people...
Not necessarily that everyone should be a lawyer.
No, you don't necessarily have to be. You don't necessarily have to be.
Yeah.
But you see, one of the mistakes we have is we think the role of parliamentarians is to repair a road, or to repair...
Or to bury someone.
Or to bury someone, or to provide an ambulance when your wife is pregnant. That's wrong. So you see, for a long period of time, we've been having elections without adequate understanding of the role of a parliamentarian. So the role of a parliamentarian is not to go and sing in parliament. The role of a parliamentarian is not just go and make noise in parliament. The role of a parliamentarian is not going to just walk out in parliament. The role of a parliamentarian is to contribute towards the legislation. That's very critical. So regardless of age, what we need to focus on is to focus on building the ideal lawmaker. In other words, a person who has an understanding, a global understanding of what Zimbabwe needs to go forward, which is what I think is critical, the raw material. It also contributes ultimately for the final product that we want to see. But what I'll go back to say is simple. Laws, they don't just come out of a vacuum. They come out of a background. Like we discussed today and say, we need to plug 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The next thing, how do we do it? We need a legislative framework. The AG office is involved in drafting the draft. It goes through the various stages of parliament. Eventually, it becomes a law. So now what we have with SI 33, again, this is something that, like I had explained, is coming against a background where there is so much noise about US dollars. At one point in time, you remember, many shops were actually saying, we no longer accept bond notes.
Yeah.
We just want US dollars. So now the country is no US dollars. People are saying we can't accept bond notes. And the next thing, what do? People want to buy. People want fuel. People want to travel. People want to transact. What do? You also come up with the relevant instruments that can cure that. But obviously, every instrument has got its good side and also has got its negative side.